Hey, Candid Culture, and thank you for tuning in to Crystal and Misha do reality reviews. Take it away, Misha.
Thank you guys for tuning in with us. Let's just jump right in.
Let's jump right in. Let's jump right in. What did you guys think of Ready to Love DC? Whew.
I will say I like the women a lot more than the men. I feel like a lot of the women, they're good catches or good matches, I guess you can say. But the men, they just looking real skeptical to me.
They're looking
But
real skeptical. They're looking real
yes.
skeptical. So let's go with the women then. You know what? It's so interesting that you say that because uh yeah, you know what? I want to take Liva first. I was gonna go from like just
Hmm.
go down the line, but I want to take Liva first. If everybody's been watching, you guys know that Liva was eliminated, and to me, I think that she was just trying a little too hard in the interactions that we saw. Uh, but she seemed like a nice, sweet person. What I appreciated is that she took that elimination pretty smoothly. She was surprised, but she was like, "Okay, she's just not here for me." Um, the only true interaction I saw was her interaction with that wasn't Cornelius. Who was that? No, no, that was the bar owner.
Frank?
I was
Or
Frank. That was Frank. That was her.
that's all I remember. I feel like that's the only time I saw her was when she interacted with him.
Yeah, me too. I agree. That was the only time I saw her. And I thought that they were actually, I liked her interaction with him in the beginning because it was her and it was Aisha at the sitting there. But then I just felt like she was just trying too hard. But I didn't think that it was necessarily a bad thing. It was a cocktail party, it wasn't horrible, but he didn't like it. And then I didn't like the fact that he teased her as she's walking away. I was like, all right, you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it, but that's it. So
I didn't pick up on the fact that he didn't like her until Aisha was like, you scared her away or whatever. I
mhm.
didn't pick up on it. I will say I was watching Miss Misha IMO. I was watching
Mhm.
her review and she was saying that Libby, what is her name?
Liba,
Libba,
Liba.
her half wig was scared away the men because her hair did look a little crazy. It didn't look, she just needs to pat it down,
It
brush it
wasn't
back
full. It
a
wasn't
little bit
full.
more. I
Mhm.
don't know. But I definitely think that played a role. I think the whole tattoo thing, it made her seem a little eager, thirsty, a little bit. I feel like that's how she was kind of portrayed. And the whole bubbly comment like that Frank made, she's too bubbly. I don't know. I just feel like you can't win. Like in her situation, she couldn't win because if she would have sat there and not said nothing, then she's too reserved. She doesn't talk. But I think she was trying to show her personality. She was trying to put herself out there, which I understood because it's a dating show competition. You have to put yourself out there in order to make connections. So I think the whole bubbly label was a little too much. I think Frank is just I think we were on Kamisha's yesterday. I think
Mhm.
Kamisha said he was just jealous. He didn't want the attention. Maybe that was Ida. It might have been Ida who said
I agree with you
he
though.
just
I
wants the
think that
attention on him.
saying that you're trying too hard is not, I don't think that's a cop out. That's just a cop out. Oh, she's too bubbly. No, I think that she was just trying to have a good time. And actually I was
Mhm.
watching again this morning, and I think she was I was like, was she a little tipsy? That could have been it too.
And it was late in the day. If you pay
Hmm.
attention to that scene, it was later in the day. So it's very much possible that it was after a couple of drinks. It was after she's been sitting around
Right.
all day.
Yeah.
So,
So Kia was saying it was Ida that was saying that. That
uh-huh.
Yeah, I think I said I watched that again and that whole scene again. I said, "Oh, I think that she might have been a little tipsy or something. It might have been something
Mhm.
else." And she came off a little thirsty. But I thought that that was premature for them to let her go. But at the same time, I couldn't see them letting anybody else go. Looking at the
Mhm.
ladies, all these other ladies are gonna bring something else the rest of the show. So yeah. So let's go up to Shiloh. What did you think about the interaction with Shiloh, and was that Dante?
Child, I don't know. I call her the knockoff Liz because she looked like a knockoff Liz to me with the whole Jerry curl action she got going on. I didn't really I
So
didn't get much from her. Like I said yesterday, I feel like we can see who production's favorites are because there
mhm,
are certain people that got a lot of camera time. I feel like I
mhm.
really didn't get to know her or anything really about her based off what they showed. But
Okay,
yeah,
let me
she
ask you a question. You're the makeup artist, right? Does she look older than she is? She's only 33.
mm, there's a lot of those though. There's her, there's the Teja girl, there's the Carrie girl. They look a lot older than what their age is saying. So there was a lot of, yeah, there
Okay,
was a
I
lot of those.
Tasia looks like she's younger, but I'm just like, I don't know. You're like, Crystal, just put me on the spot. But I did not, I did not get that from her, and so I think they're going to be doing some changes coming up. So yeah, so okay, what did you think of Aisha?
I I like her. I think she's very pretty. I do not like the blonde wig. I know she's a hairstylist, but this is not this is not showing what you can do. I think black women look beautiful in blonde wigs, but there's a specific type of blonde you got to do. And the blonde if she I'm
I'm gonna
trying to
save
be
you for.
nice. I'm
I'm gonna
really
save you.
trying to
I'm
be
gonna save
nice.
you. I'm gonna
But it
save you.
looks
My girl, I'm gonna save
very
you.
Mhm.
I think she needs to mix it up. She needs to do more of a chestnut blonde. She needs to just kind of just
But
mix it up
it
a little
doesn't
bit.
even look laid. That's my
It's
thing.
not.
It looks like
But
she just sat it on top of her
you-
head and she's
yeah, you
supposed to be
definitely can
a
see
hair
where.
salon owner and
Right.
all this stuff. I'm not trying to talk about nobody, but
So,
I just I'm not feeling it, and I feel like she's so pretty because you get those different angles of her, those profile angles, and you're like, dang, she is beautiful. And it's just that blonde wig is not cutting it for me.
did she come off? And I hate to say the word. I know she said that she's been through a lot. She said that her husband could not get away from his demons. And it turns out that I guess she was married to a drug dealer or married to, there was something in his past. At first we thought that he had cheated. There was something there. And I was
Mhm.
watching Little Black Book and they were saying that she's had got that ghetto past. Does she come off like that?
Ghetto? No,
And I don't want to. That's why that's the word I didn't want to use. So I was trying to think of another word. But you understand what I'm saying?
I
Or trouble
I I
passing.
sense a slight ghetto. I don't want to say ghetto. I don't think she's
Yeah.
ghetto. I
Okay.
don't I don't want to say ghetto. She might have like some hood adjacent history,
Hood
but
adjacent. That's what we're going to be
I
saying,
don't
y'all.
want to
Hood adjacent.
say,
I agree. Health
yeah.
and wealth. That's our girl. Health and wealth. That white blonde is just not flattering. It's just not
Mhm.
flattering. And I've been asking this question: what accent is that? Onu, who is from DC, he said it's just a DC accent.
Yeah, it seemed like a little bit of an accent. It wasn't much. I do like her. I like her assertiveness. I like her openness. I feel like she's open just enough. Like I felt like Liba kind of overdid it, but I felt like she did just enough. And I like how the women are standing up for themselves in the sense that I picked up on this, I picked up on that. If they're seeing red flags and they're not just continuing, like they're gonna ignore him. Like, Aisha did that with Lamont. Carrie picked up Corey and his little copy and paste scheme. So I do like that their assertiveness.
I
So
agree.
I do like Aisha though.
I do agree with the standing up for themselves, or just like stepping into their excellence. Y'all know that that's my word. Shirts coming soon, merch coming soon. Yeah, the ladies are definitely stepping into their excellence. So I do like that about them. Um, I'm gonna save Moomin for later, just because I think I only seen like one interaction with her with one of the guys. I don't remember anything with Moomin. Do you remember anything with Moomin? With
Who's
Moomin?
Wilma?
Muman, do you remember anything with her?
I kept getting her confused with the Camille girl. So
Yes,
I don't know
you're
which
right.
one.
That's why I'm going to skip her, just because more coming
I don't know
soon for
which one is
Muman.
which.
There was not a lot of interaction with Muman, but I don't. But sometimes they like to save stuff for later. We're gonna go on to Miss Courtney. I knew, like you said, they give certain people a lot of airtime, a lot of camera time.
Mhm.
And walking in, I said, "Oh, she gonna get a lot of camera time." So, what
Right.
did you think of Miss Courtney?
Um, I I
Okay.
don't have nothing bad to say. I'm trying to be nice because I feel like we really didn't get much from a lot of these people in the first and second episode. But I don't know, don't come for me, but I just felt like her and Sabrina got a lot of camera time
Yeah.
because of their features
Yep. I knew
and
it.
because of the ambiguousness. And I was kind of rolling my eyes a little bit. I like both of them, but I didn't like that kind of the guys were flocking to them versus the women that were darker or more
Well, and we're gonna get into
natural looking. So
right, and we're gonna get into Mr. Corey a little later too. But what I noticed is, and hey, you guys, come for me if I'm wrong, but he said he got like four phone numbers, right? I feel like all four phone numbers that he got, with y'all know what I'm about to say, look like this or look like this, and then he also got Carrie's. And so y'all know what I'm trying to say. And then he also got Shiloh's too.
here's,
So,
yeah, like
so
Winnie said she finds Corey a bit annoying, but she might be cool. I think Courtney is cool. Here's my thing. Courtney is not feminine. And I feel like these I just want to say it.
interesting. No,
I
no, no.
feel like
It's interesting you
these
say that.
biracial women, they get the pass. They can be a little masculine. They can be down to earth and it's not off-putting. But I feel like more melanated women, we have to over exude the femininity to be approachable, to not be off putting. That's not even, that's another whole topic.
That's
That's
another
not
whole
even
topic.
something that the show needs to solve or anything.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
I do notice that Courtney has a little bit of the homeboy tendencies, kind of like Chrysanthemum. I felt Chrysanthemum had that homeboy kind of homegirl attitude, but she got a pass by the men because of the way she looks. But I feel like if what's her name, Moomy or Momi, whatever, yeah, Moomin, or if Camille had that same energy, it would be she's too hard or she's too
Mm.
this or that. I'm not trying to start no.
No,
I'm not
so
trying to start nothing, but it's something I picked up that the men flock to Courtney. And I feel like it's because of her features. Because if you paid attention to the way she carries herself, her attitude, she's not that feminine. And there's nothing
okay.
wrong with that, but I just don't like when other women of darker tones are kind of pointed out as being more masculine or whatnot, and you're not giving that same judgment towards the lighter skinned women.
And I'll agree with you. That that is true. I didn't notice that she wasn't feminine or she was more masculine. I picked up on other things with Courtney, but I
Mm,
didn't pick up on that. But I really wanted to pay attention to their interactions with Courtney and especially and with all the ladies. But were the guys going to actually sit and have a conversation with them, or did they care? You understand what I mean? Um,
mhm,
so I noticed it, and I said, let me see if these guys actually have a long conversation with them, or did they just, hey, now we know what's his name, Corey has just said, let me get your number super quick. But with
right.
Courtney, were these guys really, trying to dig deep? I felt like
Mhm.
there was another guy, and I'm trying to remember his name, that did actually really want to have a conversation with Courtney. Um, but I think that she's deeper than she came off with. And that, yes, I do remember there was a gentleman. Um, tell me who that was.
The
That she,
Southern guy, or
yeah, he was.
she said she likes Southern men. I think I think it was Dante. I want to say it's
So
Dante, but I might be wrong.
but he talked about her daughter. He talked about,
Hmm.
me and my ex. He still wanted me to be a 24-year-old kid. And now that I got responsibilities, I really wanted to do something with my life. So she did have some deep conversations, but I do think that she came in very forceful and like, hey, I'm
Hmm.
here, see me, love me, that type of thing. So I do think that she came in with like an aura about me, like they're gonna love me, like everybody, let everybody take a seat. So that's interesting. I don't think that's necessarily bad. I actually like her.
Yeah.
I
I
like
like
her.
her. My whole point is the men. I
Yeah.
feel like the men, they judge the women differently based on the them being ambiguous or not. And
No,
that's
I
my whole
agree.
point is these men need to look at these women equally. So if you're gonna call another woman too masculine or too aggressive, you should be able to do the same regard for another woman regardless of her skin tone.
So Winnie was saying that she was complaining about the same thing about the representation on Kia's review. They have deep, dark chocolate men, but not the women to match. That's interesting. They do have some deep, dark chocolate women,
They
but not
That's
the
another thing. They
yeah,
have chocolate women, but they really didn't get camera time. So you wouldn't know.
yeah. Now that
Like
I
we saw
totally.
Sabrina, we saw Courtney, we saw
Mhm,
Tisha, and I really thought the fitness trainer chick, I thought she was beautiful. I thought she would have got a lot more camera
mhm.
time
No, that's not
than
her name.
she got.
It's-
Um,
Of course, the fitness.
but yeah, they do have
Yep, that's
chocolate
her name.
women, but they didn't really give them
No, you're
the
right. I would
camera
agree with
time.
that. I think because then, and that's what I said when we started talking, that Sabrina and Courtney got a lot of camera time, and
Mhm.
I think the Sabrina got a lot of camera time at first because yeah, she's tall and she looks a lot. She at first glance looks like Ida. So they were waiting for her to cut up, and then they're like, "Oh wait, she's smart and she's intelligent, and she's not saying that it isn't, but that she's let's see what she's gonna do. Let's see what she's gonna say." They immediately think that this look is going to start trouble. start trouble.
Mhm.
So let's mix it up. Let's talk about Sabrina. What did you think of Sabrina?
I liked her. I relate to her story about dating the man for 6 months and having a baby, then finding out he's married. Because my story is very similar. So I related to her on that. I related to her raising children, not children, taking care of her parents at 80 years old. Because my grandparents, I witnessed my aunts, my parents, uncles doing the same thing. So I understood how taxing that can be. Her whole moment with Walter, I don't know, it seemed a little bit of trauma bonding. So I hope for her as a woman that she understands that it was just a connection of you got trauma bonding. I hope she recognizes it for that and doesn't think me and Walter have this connection. Now we're destined to be, or something like that. That's what I was just hoping. And I was hoping, because what I picked up from what I've seen in the preview, she seems like a crier. So we seem like we gonna get some more cries out of her. But I liked her. I just hope she's not caught up in the trauma bonding and thinking that that is saying something as far as a possibility of a relationship.
It was absolutely trauma bonding. I totally agree with
Right.
you on that. I was like, sweetheart, please don't think that you and Walter are gonna ride off into the sunset, because it is not gonna happen. Um, yeah. Besides that connection, she said that she doesn't want any more kids. She's 45, which make understandable. Walter is 30 something, but he doesn't have any. No, he's 46, but he wants kids. Um, yeah, it was absolutely trauma bonding, and uh, I didn't even see. I said, okay. Besides that, they have no other connection. I hope that she doesn't carry that into the next person she meets, because if you're looking to get those connections with some of these other guys, it's not going to happen. And someone said that was a lot for a mixer.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
Mhm.
She was she's like, I done messed up my makeup. That's the first thing I would have thought about. Like, I don't even know you, and I'm over here messing up.
We're crying like a baby in front of everybody, but and he
Yeah,
really.
that's and it kind of made me think I really want her to find love and all that, but it kind of made me think, is she ready? Because me as a single mother, I understand the stressfulness of it, the you just needing a break, you needing a downtime. So if she's already a single mother and a caretaker for her parents above her 9 to 5, then I'm like, are you really ready to date? Do you really have the time? And emotionally, are you really able for that? That's what I kind of felt after that whole moment with Walter, because I'm just like,
The emotional
yeah,
bandwidth
it was.
is what you're saying. Like,
Mhm,
you got emotional bandwidth, of course, to you got everything to take care of your 8-year-old daughter, and
mhm,
she's a fashion designer, which takes up a lot of time, and then you're taking care of your elderly
mhm.
parents. That takes up a lot of time. Like anything she does, she's gonna. I would think that she needs to start really slow and really make these connections. So I'm glad that she did get out and step away to meet people and step away to meet some guys and make some connections and see where it goes. So this is a
Mhm.
good opportunity for her, as far as not even like financial opportunity. I mean an opportunity to like meet some other people and make some other connections, and hopefully she does.
Yeah,
But I think that's a lot. That's a lot to do. That's a lot to deal with.
it is.
Okay, so okay, I want to go to let's go to Camille. Let's go. Let's go. What did you think of Miss Camille?
I feel like she's still playing games. Like she said in the casting special, she would play games with men and she'll make them think that she's more interested in them than she really is. So I felt like with oh dude, can't remember his name. I felt like she was kind of playing a game with him. Like, okay, you go and get my drink and come straight back. And I got a boyfriend now. I think those are the games she usually plays with men to get them to think that she's interested because a woman like her has to do those type of things like I got a boyfriend now, go straight there and come back. She has to do those things because she's not emotionally available. So she has to do something of that sort to kind of make them think that she's more interested than she really is. So I feel like she was playing with that dude there.
She was totally playing with Cornelius. I'm pretty sure that was Cornelius. Camille is another
Hmm.
Alexis. Camille is Alexis from last season. She is
Mm,
she has she has some issues, and I totally believe she was playing games. I didn't think that they had a connection at that little conversation that they had. She was not, and then she was not connecting with him. But then she'd say stuff like, "Oh yeah, go and get me something to eat. Don't get lost over there. You come right back." And then she correct. He was like, "Okay, Cornelius." Was he saying Courtney? No, it was one of the C's because he said um Cornelius and Cornelius and Camille. All right. And then she said, but my name starts with a K. I said, "Stop." He was joking. Stop correcting him. It's like she is totally, she's the Black Widow. She said that she's a Black Widow. 3 engagements and you realize that you did not love them. Like, yeah, did you get yourself all engulfed in these men and then when you're done with them, you're like, okay, I'm done. And then you move on. And she said, I did that with my
right.
engagements too. I said, you're just playing games. And
Hmm.
she's a school teacher. She said that the kids love her because she's younger than she looks, and no, she's stunning. She's very pretty,
She does look good. She's very beautiful. She looks
beautiful,
very good.
but
But
she is
I
a
still
Black
feel like
Widow.
she's playing in all they faces.
She is a Black Widow. She's a Black Widow, and um, just like when she did, so the when Tommy came to sit with all the girls, and the one of the girls said that they liked Cornelius, and she said, "Oh, that's my boyfriend." So she said that to Cornelius. It had to be Cornelius. It was Cornelius. She said that, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is a mixer. You need to mix it up and not like get your claws into one guy, and then a week later you're not going to want him no more. So she was
Hmm.
absolutely, and then she started to act like she pulled an Alexis. That's why I said, oh, she's like Alexis. She pulled an Alexis by doing that to the girls. When she said that to Tommy, I said, "Oh no, she's gonna be trouble." Yeah, and then saying, "I got a boyfriend. I was like, "Do you? Do you? Are you sure about that?"
I'm
So
telling you, I've dated emotionally unavailable men. They do the same tactics. Well, you better not be texting nobody else. You better not. But they haven't claimed you officially. But
right,
they put that type of pressure on you to only talk to them and be with them so that they can get what they need. But meanwhile, you over there just like you're doing nothing. So yeah, she's very much playing a game. Like, yeah, I've been through that whole game and I know what it's like to have people, they give you just enough to hang on.
yes,
So, and I feel like that's what Camille's doing. And I feel like she knows at this age that she is not giving, she's not open, she's not vulnerable enough. So she has to do those little come right there and come back, oh, he's my boyfriend, to kind of reassure whoever it is that she's interested. So yeah. I've been there, done that. So these men better watch out for her.
And I remember last season, the guy, people would be in the room, the guys would be all around, and like when they say stuff like, "Oh, well, she's the one, she's my top, or he's my top," then the guys would start to back off and let their relationship blossom and stuff like that. I just think, I just don't trust. I don't. She, and I don't think she's going home next. I think that they need to keep her around to stir up the trouble. What did you think of Tasia? First of all, I like that name. Tasia is pretty. Go ahead,
Um,
say it.
so here's the thing. Here's the thing. As a plus size girl myself, I really I was rooting for Tressa last season. I was rooting for Tisha. I think that's how you say it. I don't know.
I think
Tisha.
it's
I was rooting
Tasia.
for
I could be
Tisha
wrong. Hmm.
this season. But I felt like she really didn't give any vulnerability. And I think maybe that's why the ending of the episode happened the way it did. I feel like she was asking a lot of questions, but you really didn't get to know much about her. And like the casting special, you got to know what she's looking for per se, but I felt like with the men at the mixers, she really, as far as what I saw, I didn't see really an openness with her, even when she was at the bottom too, and she threw that purse on her arm, and I was like, where'd she get her purse from? Because then nobody else had no purse. She threw that purse on her arm, and she was like, I'm ready to go. I didn't got 4 or 5 numbers. How they gonna put me in the bottom two? And that reminded me of Tressa, because Tressa said plus size women, they like to sleep with you, but they don't want to claim you or be serious with you. And I felt like, Tisha, please don't tell me you fell into that trap in thinking just because you bless you, just be, I ain't gonna say bless you again. Just kidding. But I felt like she fell into that trap because as plus size women, men have fetishes. So you got to be careful that you're just not a fetish or a fantasy, that a man has genuine interest in you. So I felt like she didn't do her part on that end. Just because you got a number, that don't mean nothing. Like you really have to really probe these men and build that connection to really see if there's really something there, or did they just take your number to fill some time.
I'll agree with you. And she did. She came off like, hey, she came off very confident, which is good. But then she also, on as you just said, as a plus size woman, you have to, as you just said earlier, is like some of the more melanated women have to do even more. You have to put yourself
Mhm.
out there even more, and tell them about yourself even more. Unfortunately, that is the truth. As you just
Mhm.
said, Courtney and Sabrina didn't have to do as much, but unfortunately, you have to show those other sides of you faster, quicker, indifferently. And unfortunately, I do agree that she did kind of throw a little baby fit when she was, I mean, like you said, she got her purse and her fan and she was ready to go. I was like, first of all, you with this fan, the whole cocktail party was just cracking me up. And then it was like the African Kente fan. It was like, okay, y'all with these fans. And then she had got her purse and her fan and she was ready to go. And I was like, listen, this is the time when you do need to relax. They want to see how you are in the face of at those times when you're about to go home. So I really do wish she did act a little bit more like Liba and just was like, "Hey, okay, it's not for me," then
Mhm.
my Boaz is not here, or whatever, stuff like that. So I do wish she did have that type of attitude, but she didn't, and we know she didn't. And then all the girls like crowding around her and like patting her on the back. I was like, what is happening? Like consoling her and like, and I was like, okay, you wanted the attention on you all day,
Right.
and now you got it at this time. Like this was the time, the earlier in the day, that's when you needed to make those connections. And I did think that she came up like, hey, I'm Tasia, I'm very, I'm pretty, or I don't know what other kind of conversations that she had with the guys. But I don't know that she had any other like great conversations, but I also don't know that
Hmm.
they didn't show them. So yeah, those are the times where she needs to make those connections. Unfortunately, we got to make even more of an effort. So yeah, so that's what I thought about Tasia. I liked her. I liked
I
Tasia,
agree.
and it's something else that you
Yeah.
as well is that because she was one of the last two on the intro. And I said, "Is she a filler? Is
Hmm.
she like maybe they didn't have somebody, so they called her, or somebody had to couldn't make it, so they so she came in. I don't know, but I think that that's not a that's you have something to that.
I agree with Wealth and Health. She said, I don't think it's Tija's weight, honestly. It's her personality. Tressa, it was her size last season. And I agree with that. And I think, yeah, I agree
Wait,
with
okay, I
that
know
because
you're saying yeah, you agree, but go ahead. You're saying that like it's her personality. She needs to be more personable. It's because it's not her way.
she needs
Voluptuous.
to be a little bit more vulnerable.
Yeah,
She
okay.
has the questions. She's coming out with those hard-hitting questions. But if these men aren't finding anything else about you, there has to be an exchange in order
True.
for them to be a connection. So if these men are just giving you their representative or whatever
Mhm.
answer they have, you're not really building a connection. And I think it was too soon for her to be upset.
I will give you
It's
that, but to me, she didn't come off as this season's Tressa. Well, as far as her body type, or
yeah.
yeah, but to me, she was more like Simone with the rapid fire questions. But I also believe it's who she's
Mm,
asking the questions to. As we know, that Mister what's his name, Carrington has some history, and I think it was him. I was like, he don't want to answer any of your questions because
mhm.
he got some background
Because he
issues.
gonna have to keep up with his lies.
Exactly.
He don't want to have to keep up with the lies because you're asking random questions and he can't keep track of the lies.
Hmm.
I saw Carrington's little representative up there. I know they're just allegations, but I don't know. I think
Yeah. No, I was side eyeing him the whole time, and even if I didn't hear all of these background allegations and all of this stuff, I was looking at the show and I was like, "There's just something about you that I just like we're gonna women's intuition. I'm just not feeling it. I'm just there's something how you have that little thing, ladies, in the back of your head to say, I don't trust this guy. That's what I was like. It's who she's asking the questions to. I was like, Carrington,
Mhm.
he don't want to answer your questions. So that's what I
Right.
thought with Tessia. And I also think that she was really trying to make those connections. She said, I want a husband, I want a family, I want kids, I want all of these things. So it was almost like the first episode with Amber. She was like, let me ask him all of these questions. I said, okay, maybe
Mhm.
next episode, or maybe, next time, just relax and get to know the guys. But yeah, I don't know that it's her size. I think it's her personality. Yeah. So yeah,
They are going in on her.
she didn't have two questions. Are you wait, what were the two? She didn't even have good questions, Monique. She said, "Are you single?" Oh, that's right. Okay, so let's cover this again because this was actually kind of funny because this is actually how this is a CMK right here. So this happened. Are you single? Does your wife know you single? That's so,
Right. That's what was happening.
and I think that that stuff that's happened to her, and like you said, that stuff that's happened to you, that stuff that happens to us as women, and that's not something she should have said at a cocktail party. But I do think that that is a legitimate thing, because that's happened to me. I'm like, you're single? Oh, okay, you're single. Okay, so I'm having this conversation, and turns out he wasn't single. So and that's happened. A good friend of mine. Did your wife know you're single? That's not a bad question. It's just that in the arena where she was asking it, mm-mm. And I think that she was, yeah, she just needs to pull it back. Just pull it back. It's a cocktail party. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah. So she needed to stop doing stuff like that. Just like, I get it. I get why you're asking it, but it's a cocktail party. Oh, Carrington came off like a used car salesman. So you know what? We're gonna get into the men. We're getting the day is far spent. So let's get into these men, because unfortunately, as Misha just said, the other ladies, they really uh, did not have a lot on. They had some on Aisha, but Mumia, I saw a little bit on Mumia, and Zadia, a little bit on
I
Zadia.
thought she would like she's really beautiful. I thought she would got a lot more screen time. But we didn't see her till like 50 minutes into the episode. And I
Mm-mm.
was like, oh, okay, I guess she's there, but
Yeah.
I don't
And so you know who I actually liked? Carrie. A lot of people are saying
I
that that's
really like her.
really like her, but they're saying that she might be going home next. I really liked her. And there's nobody from last season that she put me in the mind of, not personality wise,
Right.
but I liked her. And she's an interior, and maybe because she's a real estate and interior designer, decorator, and those are two things I've always wanted to do. Like, I just kind of liked her. And I said, she kind of reminds me of me for some reason, but with just the little bit I saw of her, and I said, huh, I got to see more of her. So we don't know too much of her. So
I liked like from the like when I first saw her picture, I liked her because she did not look like a IG model,
right.
um, like influencer, like
Hmm.
TikTok dancer type of person. So I
Hmm.
like that she looked like a real woman
Yep.
on the show. I thought she was very beautiful.
Like, even like her
I
makeup.
did catch,
I liked her
uh-huh.
makeup. Like, that's something I would do. Like, I just liked her. Go ahead.
I did catch how Walter was like basically saying he's not attracted to her. He said something like he has to be with someone who he's attracted to her. And then they showed her basically saying he wasn't attracted to her. And I was just like, huh? Like, I think she's beautiful. I don't know why Walter wasn't feeling her that way. Um, I don't know. I don't know if she has her guard up or not. We did see, I feel like the only thing I remember about her was the whole Corey incident when she kind of picked up on his copy and paste thing and she called him out in front of the ladies. But I don't really know if she really made a connection with the other guys that were there.
Right. I agree. And maybe because now that I'm thinking about it, she kind of reminds me of Winter a little bit. I just liked her as like a person. Not like she doesn't look like Winter.
Huh.
She's just very professional. And I said, maybe that's what it is. She comes off to me professional. Even when in the
Mm-hmm.
IPM, when she had her hair up like you have it today, and with I said, oh, she comes off very. She doesn't. Is she bringing the sexy? And I don't know. That's what I'm wondering, because they're like, I wasn't attracted to her. So I really want to see more of that her. I want to see when and if she gets, eliminated, what's the reason. So I liked her. I liked her as a person. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I liked her, but I don't see anybody that she'd be with. So
That's
also,
true. That's very true.
what I'm also
Maybe
noticing,
Frank might be a good match for her because they seem.
maybe that's interesting. So all of the ladies except for two are in their 30s. Sabrina and
Tisha is.
Camille. They're all 42, 42 and 45. To see it, there everybody else is in their 30s, which is interesting because most of the men. So this is what I noticed. So this is where we got that Phil was 51. Everything else I'm seeing, they say he's 40, he's 37. So, and he doesn't even look 50. So that I thought that was interesting.
No.
So that's where I got that from. So let's go up. Let's go Dante. Dante's the one that had the conversation um
Courtney.
with Courtney.
He
Uh
was talking to Courtney
conversation.
by the fireside. I remember that. Was that him?
Yeah, I think so. He had the good conversation about um why did you break up with your ex? What happened there? And I actually thought that was a good conversation. And they actually went a little deeper, because everybody else was like, oh, Courtney, she's so beautiful. I love the hair and everything. But they actually had a good conversation. Um, that's really all I remember from him. Let's go into Mr. Walter. What do you think of Walter?
I I liked him. He reminded me of Rashid with a beard. Like that's what he looks like to me. Like if Rashid had a beard, I think that's what he would look like.
That's
But he
interesting.
reminded me of Rashid. I did like his personality. He told the story about his wife. I was like, uh-oh, here we go. Because what's his name? Joel had that a similar story, but it turned out that the wife wasn't really his wife when she died. She was already they were already divorced, separated, and she passed away. So instantly it made me kind of look at her like, hmm, like is he telling the full story or whatnot? But I do believe he was being honest about that story, but it seems like from the previews he might have like the same reputation as Joel as being, just I don't know.
So
But
he's the
he
one that got
seemed
all
like
his
he's gonna
freak.
get the girls riled up.
He's the one that got all his freaky side. He says he got all his freaky side out of him. So his wife passed away in 2003. They were together for 9 years before they got married. Got married a year and a half later. She contracted. She had a ruptured. I can't remember exact. Dr. Onu like broke it down for us. But she passed away sadly. Excuse me. And then after that, he said he was out there. He said he was in the streets. In the streets. He said that after she passed away, so he was around 28 when she passed away. And so now he's ready. I almost think you still have a lot of work to do. That's what I think. He likes exotic. That's why he stayed there and stayed talking to Sabrina. Excuse me, but I don't know. There's something about him too. I'm just not. I appreciate his story, but I don't know about him.
Hmm.
I'm side eyeing him. This is an interesting thing. Is same as you just compared him to Joel. Same as Joel. I liked Joel, but I also said there's something about Joel that will get you involved, get you close. Um, and I had an ex that did this and was all in. And when he wasn't, he didn't let you know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He,
Right.
yeah. So he just gives you like, hey, you're the one I want. But he still got he still got his eye out there roaming around. So and I was like, I like Joel, but there's just and same thing about Walter. The same thing about Walter. Let's go to him. Go ahead, you go.
Whew. I don't know. I know all the stuff that's out about him is alleged and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm looking at him with the side eye. especially from the previews when Courtney was telling him, what you're saying isn't adding up. Like you're telling us all different things and it's not making sense. So that's what makes me think that the allegations about him being a scammer, being homeless, and having people pay off his child support and spreading STDs allegedly, I just it's a lot going on with the allegations where I'm looking at him with the side eye. But yes, Shindy said the nightlife CEO. Can we get into that real quick?
Yes, please. That's
Because
what I was about to
these occupations, child. I'm like, so you a club promoter? And we got the cyber security. I'm like, are you a night guard? Like,
say.
are
He's
you
a
just a
security
security
guard.
guard?
He might be the
What
city manager. He might be
what do
managing.
these really, and even during the episode, it didn't say, it says marketing CEO. Like, what does that mean? Like, they trying to zhuzh up these people's occupations so
But
bad.
they didn't
Just
do it
say
in the
they a
pictures,
cashier
though.
at Walmart. Just say that, okay? And we'll go home.
No, you're
Like,
absolutely right.
please,
In marketing
please.
firm CEO, you are a club promoter. And in the pictures, you got the two bottles like this. I'm like, and then you on the dance floor with some girl. I'm, oh, Lord.
And
Come
his lips is
on.
black, so I don't believe that he is the CEO of anything legal.
He is the CEO of the
Stop.
weed shop. He's the CEO of the weed
Like
shop. Like,
Ida said, you are not a CEO unless you have employees. So I don't think he's really, yeah, it's these occupations are a lot. I'm always like, whenever they put entrepreneur, I'm like, yeah, but what does that mean?
what are you
Like, I
doing?
need a
What are
little
you
bit more
doing?
info.
Nisha, you're an entrepreneur. You're like, I'm an entrepreneur.
We
I'm like,
are, but I would
no.
not. It's it's shady with these men because when Carrington puts entrepreneur and then all these allegations come out, you like, well, what do you really do? It's it's a mess.
And the sad thing is, okay, let me know, and y'all in the chat, let me if you didn't hear all of this stuff, what would you when you saw him last night or Friday night, and you looking at this picture, what would you think of him? To me, I still am like, I don't trust this guy. Just sitting and just watching him, I was like, no.
His what got me was during the casting special, his like he put on that work voice. Hello, I'm Carrington. I do this and I do that. And I was like, wait, what? You wasn't talking in that voice before. Where that voice come from? So I really think he's a whole scammer. I really believe.
Unemployed smoker is hilarious, Cindy. Yes, I agree though. I just think he's a scammer. And oh goodness, I think he's a scammer. Okay. Do you want to get in? Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get into this.
Ciao.
So I'm gonna start because I know about to laugh. I'm mad at this because he looks like a really good actor. Y'all look him up. Keith Robinson. He was in Dreamgirls. He played Cece in Dreamgirls. Corey looks like the
No, he was finer than Corey
yeah.
to me.
Keith
No.
is definitely, but he resembles Keith Robinson to me. Corey, and now I'm looking at this. I'm like, your eyes just look sneaky. I'm just like, I'm mad because as soon as I was like, you look like Keith Robinson from Dreamgirls. But this guy, even in his idea, even in the casting special, when he started talking about copy paste, um, and he's a gym owner, and he just talking so badly about women, just women, period. He's just awful. Um, I was so done. I was so done with Corey. And he didn't even so let's go to when he started talking. He went straight to uh Corey went to Courtney and they talked, and they actually started talking. He said, "You're beautiful." He said, and he was talking like he wanted to get to know her, and she was like, "Oh, my favorite." It looked like she just walked in. I love dark chocolate, tall, dark, and handsome. He said, "Okay, well, can I get your number?" Like, it went that quick. Then he said the same thing or along the
Did
same lines.
she gave that man her number. She was
Yes.
like 555. I was like, what?
Did she say 555?
She said 52 something. She said something. She
Because you
started
know,
giving her
555 is
number.
the lie number. 555 is the number that you'll see in
No,
all
she didn't actually say 555. She
okay.
gave her like whatever first three numbers, and I was like, "Girl, you fell for that?" Like that. So that had me side eyeing her a little bit. Like I don't know.
Yeah. So she gave him the number. Sabrina gave, I guess he went up to Sabrina. Oh, let's talk about this interaction that he did with Sabrina, which was hilarious. And I love that's why I like Sabrina for this. Because Sabrina was talking to Phil. And he said, "Hey, can I talk to you for? I just need 45 seconds of your time." So Phil was gonna get up and walk away, and he said, "No, brother, you can stay right there." He said, "All I want to know is, do you find me attractive? Do you find me attractive? If you find me attractive,
But
you
he was
I
all in
just
her face. I would have been
yeah."
like, back up.
I was like, and Phil was just sitting there. I said, "Wow, really?" Phil was just sitting there and listening to this. He's like, "That's not the way you do it." But Sabrina was like, "I don't know you. Your looks mean nothing to me. You know, I can't say that. Your looks mean nothing to me." So I appreciate Sabrina for that. And I think that he was in even later on, I don't remember. He was talking to the girl in the green dress. He was actually, I think it was Camille. And so he said, "To tell you the truth, one of the girls I shouldn't have even got her number." So he got four women's numbers, and then he said one of the girls I shouldn't have even gotten it. Um, and then there was another interaction. Oh, Carrie. He's sitting next to Courtney. Carrie and Courtney are sitting next to each other. He says, "Hey, I wanted to give you something. I have something for you. Can I give it to you now?" Pulls her aside and it's like, "What are you doing Friday or Saturday? Can I get your number?" And she was like,
No, no.
"Ooh."
But did you pick up how he said Friday or Sunday?
Oh,
Because
I thought
I'm
he said
pretty sure
Friday or Saturday.
Courtney took that Saturday spot. So
Right.
he didn't.
I thought he said Friday or Saturday. So Courtney took the Saturday spot. Wow. This guy, he was just awful. He was a mess. And
Yeah.
so, and then of course, Courtney's looking at this. She's watching this the whole time. So yeah, go ahead. You go. I might remember something later. Go ahead. What do you think?
I understood what he was saying about women date differently or something, basically saying you can date multiple people and get to know them. He seems like a very much a serial dater though. And my issue is it's not an issue going on dates with people. My issue is there's no intent behind it. You're just rallying up numbers and filling your calendar because you're bored or you don't have nothing else better to do. Because if you was really busy with that gym, you would not be hounding these women for a date. So I just felt like there was no intention behind him asking all these women on dates. I felt like it, like he said, he's just, if when you're copying and pasting pickup lines, there's no intention behind that. You have no real purpose in getting to know these women and building something with them. So that was my whole issue with it is if you're gonna ask all these women out, okay, but to not have any genuine intent behind it, that was my issue.
I agree. And well, there's two things I want to talk about. The one thing is he had one. I think that he wanted to come in with a strategy because he knew that all these guys were gonna try to like do one strategy. So he's doing it different. He said, "Let me try to do something different. Let me just get all these numbers, and then I don't have to say anything. I can just call them up and try to like date. Because he." I think that he's self-conscious too. I think he has self-esteem issues too. He didn't want to be one of 10 guys. So he's like, let me get one of these women alone, or some of these women alone, and let me see how this works, how
Mhm.
that works. Two, something that Ida said really stuck with me, but I do wonder because he's the one that was popping out his phone left and right, right? Carrie was like, no, I don't have my phone. My phone's on the table. But, and I think that Tissia, whatever her name is, when she was about to leave, I feel like she said, "Where's my phone?" So I don't know if that was kind of like production knew that he was going to give good content, so they were like, "Sure, you can have your phone," or maybe he asked, "Hey, can I get somebody's number, or can I keep my phone with me?" I don't know, but it was very suspect that he's the only one that kept popping out his phone left and right.
He definitely did seem like a production mole at
Mm-hmm.
some point because it was very much giving Troy, like Troy's nephew, because he wasn't kissing on everybody, but he
Just was
was
funny.
like trying to grab everyone up and take them on trips or whatever. It did seem like they were trying, like I said in my the video before, it just seems like there's a lot of repeats. Like it's like repeat storylines. Now you're trying to repeat Troy's whole um I don't know, his whole lingo. So, and it's like I even said on Kamisha's channel that Troy wasn't even that bad as they portrayed Troy to be. And I feel like they're definitely trying to, because even when he was at the bottom too, it was Corey and Lamont. And when they kept Corey, I was like, okay, he's definitely a production mole, or he was in good with production. Production got what they wanted out of him, so they kept him. But yeah,
Well,
definitely feel like you can tell the production favorite.
so it's interesting you say that Troy wasn't as bad as you as they portrayed, because Wealth and Health just said something that reminded me. Troy kept wanting to kiss everybody. He kept wanting to like feel over everybody at the little pink and sip thing. I was like, what is he
Mm-hmm.
doing? Like he wanted to just like, and then I remember I think he was hugging Amber or somebody where he was. I heard him like, like I was like, stop it, don't do that. So it became inappropriate after a while. Like this guy, he's trying to get numbers. And I think there are certain men that have like self-esteem issues and they just can't come in as being themselves. So they think they need a strategy. So they did like Troy. Well, I'm just come in and like try to smooth, like let me kiss you on your cheek. Let me offer a vacation. Let me offer this, offer that. They think, and I think we've talked about this before, that like men think, oh well, if I offer money or vacation or buy you shoes, then that'll get her. Like this guy is
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, let me get your number. He thinks he needs a strategy. So I think that's a self-esteem issue or a confidence issue on his part. So he wants to get them away from these other guys and like one-on-one her, and then that's gonna give him a leg up, and it really isn't. So that's what I thought of. What's his name? What is his name again? Corey. I thought that Corey was just he was doing too much, and it came off as insincere when you do it to like four different women, and then to say to Camille, one of the women, I shouldn't have even gotten her number. Don't do that. And so um yeah, he didn't he couldn't like really genuinely say who he liked. You know, he was
I
just
agree.
go ahead.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
I agree with the self esteem point because to me he just looks like some nerdy kid or like some class clown that was in high school or college, and then he discovered weightlifting and he did a couple push-ups, he
Yes.
lifted a couple dumbbells, got a couple muscles, and now he thinks he can get any woman in sight. So I definitely agree with the whole self-esteem thing because he seems like almost like the if you were like fat when you're little and then you're fit when you're older, you like he's trying to make up for something, or I don't know. It just seems like a lot. Like, why do you need to ask every single woman out for?
Right.
Like, why can't you just build a connection?
And he knew he messed up. He knew he messed up. So he starts to say stuff like, well, so some women might, be 2 dates. Some women might need 30 days. So then he's trying to clean it up. He said, oh man, I messed up. I'm going home. You knew that he's the type of person that does stuff like that. And then when he gets in trouble, he tries to backpedal. And I'm like,
Mhm.
you knew you messed up. You knew you messed up. So, did we talk about Frank? Frank was
We
having good.
did. I don't think there's really much any
Mhm.
else to add. I don't have anything else for him.
Okay. Let's see what. Okay, I do have stuff to say about Naeem.
Let's go to Tyrone
Yeah, let's go to
because
Tyrone. You go
I
ahead and start. You go ahead and start.
I did not like how he put his mama on blast like that on national TV, talking about his mom was getting around, his mom had men all in the house, and I just didn't like it. It screamed red flags, but it was like, if you gonna out your mama like that, like what type of treatment are you gonna give me? But yeah, I didn't like that. Like, if first, it's just so many layers to it because if you don't know what was going on between your mother and your father. So for you to just come out and be so judgmental and put all the blame on your mother, it was giving like that. Like, maybe his dad was definitely in his ear, but as an adult, you have to be accountable and responsible for what you believe and the things you say and all that. So to go on national TV and to kind of try to out your mom and blame her for your trust issues, he just seems so toxic to me.
He was very toxic, and the whole time he's saying that, I'm like, what were you doing when what? I'm sorry, what was your daddy doing? So
Right. I'm
I,
gonna get
I
into what Monique said. Monique said his mama's 70 something embarrassed in the senior living center.
right. She's walking around there embarrassed in the senior living community, and you're sitting there like, oh, well, my mother was getting around and I didn't trust women because I saw all of this stuff. I'm like, what was your daddy doing the whole time? Really? Is that how that happened? And it made
Right.
it, and he's another one that he kind of upset me because to me, I was like, he's ex-military. My father and stepfather are ex-military. And I was like, you had a good upbringing, but this is how you say that? I just thought, there's something there. Yeah, he hates his mother. Ugh, yeah, exactly. You're 44 years old and you hate your mother. And he's like, I had to get past that and forgive her. I was like, what? What was your daddy doing the whole time when this was happening? What if she needed help? What if you don't know what was going on? It really sounds like,
Mhm.
yeah, he doesn't even, yeah, saying that I really hated my mother and all of these things because of stuff that I saw, and after her and my father got divorced, so she was really getting around and all of this. I was like, oh, you sound horrible. So, and he was really putting his mother down. I was like, what was your daddy doing when you saying that your mother was getting around like this? Yeah, that's
Mhm.
red flags.
I agree.
Yeah, his father was acting like a garden tool. That's why she started acting like a garden tool. Like the say,
Right.
you don't just say that. Like, and now his mother is 70 years old. Like, and she's like, oh my gosh. You don't know that just the fact that he was doing that and saying stuff like that about his mother.
And
Yeah,
it's like
Go ahead. And celery. 08. You're right. I actually think he's next to go home. He's my prediction for as far as next for the men. He's my prediction. Who's next to go home? I don't know why. Well,
Mm.
I don't like what he said in his ITM about his mother. I said, of all people, you don't say that. But I just got the feeling. Oh, I got to talk about the interaction with him and Sabrina. That was so funny. So Sabrina is saying that she was from Korea. She has this huge Korean flag on her, tattooed on her back. She was born in Korea, and so okay. I thought I had a great connection with Sabrina, and then he says something in Korean, and all she had to say was, I don't speak the language. I was born there, but I don't speak the language." But then I'm like, sis, why you got this huge tattoo on your back forever? But
I'm
you don't
glad.
speak the language. But then he says something he sings this song. He says this beautiful song that I love in Korean, and he says it in Korean, and she was like, I don't speak the language. Like what? Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I'm kind of glad she didn't speak Korean or know that song because he was like, "Oh, I'm in there. I'm in there. I spent all this time in the military over there. I know her like the back of my hand. I can get her with this." And I like
To me, he was
he
trying
just
to make a
seemed like
connection.
one of those men like I don't trust military men at all, but he just seems like, I was in Korea, you're Korean, I can say this, and if you don't fall for it, something's wrong with you, type of thing. So I,
Yeah, I was like, at first I was thinking, Sabrina, why you got that huge tattoo on your back? You left Korea at age 5, but at the same
her whole back was dedicated to Korea. Like, sis, you can know hi and bye. You should at least know hi and bye in Korean.
I agree. Her whole back is tattooed with Korean stuff, the flag, everything. Her writing in Korean. I really hope that she knows what those writings say at the top of her shoulder blade, because her whole back is Korean, but she doesn't speak the language. So Tyrone, he tried to make a connection. It didn't work. I actually think he's my prediction for as far as the men are concerned. Who's next to go? Um, let's go to Naeem. What did you think of Naeem?
I do not remember him.
He
I
was
remember the comments he made about Tijia's body. That's it. I really don't remember him.
did did hold on. Did Tyrone have children? He wasn't the one that has 3 kids by 3 different women. That's Dante, right?
I think so. I think so.
Kids.
I don't know if Tyrone said or not. Because
Um,
I don't oh no, Carrington did mention his kids, but
mhm.
like some
Yeah,
people don't mention their kids at the beginning, but
right.
then a couple episodes in they might mention them.
So Naeem, I think he's going to be the dark horse. I think that he is going to be a Jason. I think, or that's I could be wrong, but he was the last one to come
I feel
in.
like Dante might be a Jason.
Okay, let's see, because so he gave me dark horse, like you don't see me coming, the quiet guy that's just gonna come out of nowhere. But that's the impression I got. He had a good conversation with. Actually, I think he had a good conversation with the trainer. Was it with either Zadia or Mumia? He had one of the conversations with one of the girls um, that we didn't see a lot. But what was interesting to
Mm.
me that I found very interesting is he said, I love natural on a woman. I love the natural hair. I love the natural look.
But
I
he
love
was complimenting Tisha. He was
that's
all in
exactly what I was
Tisha's face talking about her booty.
That's exactly what I was about to say. He was the one who's like, I love the natural hair, the natural look, little to no makeup, all of this stuff. And I said, first thing I thought was, bro, you are not going to see any of that going into this cocktail party. And the first one he walks into and is all over is Tasia. The first one you're all over is her. Really? I said, now really, you just that was a red flag to me. One, I didn't think that he should have said that, but if that's who you are, and he does like the African garb, um Yeah, but then why weren't you all over the movie?
I feel so triggered right now
Yeah,
because this, like, we had this talk on CMK, how you have those dudes that are like, I want a natural woman, no makeup, no weave, and you walk around looking as busted as possible,
right.
trying to be what he likes, and turn around and he over there staring down a girl with a beat face and a weave to her booty. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a little
No.
triggered by that.
So I think he traveled to Africa. Also in his ITM, he said that he was dating a woman that was in the military and she didn't tell him that she was getting stationed somewhere until like the day before or something like that. And she's over there and I'm over here. I was like, there's something more to that story. That just sounds, I was like, what do you mean she's over there and you're over here? You were dating her for about 2 years, I think he said. Um, yeah, so I just thought that that was really strange. I do think that he's going to come out of the woodwork for some reason. That I just get that impression, but I could be wrong. I do think I do want to see more of Dante though, as you just said. I do think it's gonna be Naeem, but I am wondering about Dante. I don't remember him, and it's just I get that same. The reason I say that is because Jason last season, I was always, even though he didn't have a lot of screen time in the beginning, I was always checking for him. I was like, Jason knows how to navigate this. He's like one of those guys that are wait and see, and you just don't expect, or the people that are there are not expecting. So I do wonder about him. I was always checking for him because I was like, huh, there's something there, but I wasn't sure what it was. Uh Lamont, Mr. Spoken Word Artist. Go ahead.
It's funny because when I first saw his picture, I was like, he ain't gonna fit in here. He is not like he ain't gonna last on the show. But once he was on there, he started talking. I was like, I like him. And then he kept coming with these random spurts of spoken word. I was like, no, no. Because I thought like he had enough personality to make it on the show. Even with Aisha, Aisha was feeling him. And then when he just randomly started spitting bars when she's trying to get to know him and have a conversation, she was turned off by that. So I think if he, I don't know if it's like a tick or what, or if it's like a timer that goes off and he just gotta say a poem. But I was like, you should have just locked that away for a couple episodes. But I felt like he did have a good shot. But the little random haikus just put the nail in the coffin for him.
Not a tick. That's hilarious.
Because he would be having normal conversations and it was just like when the sun
Well,
goes
I was
down,
wondering,
I'm like, what? Where is this
did they
coming
edit
from?
that? Because you're right. It was like they're having a conversation, and he said, "I look in your eyes," and da, 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 da. And I was like, Lamont. I was like, what happened to the conversation? Like, how did this go from one to? Did she ask you? I wish they could edit it so that we could see her ask him to spit some bars because he just went into this horrible spoken word or poem. But the thing is, the beginning of the poem was not bad, and then he went into penis and all this other stuff. I was like, stop,
Yeah, that was too
stop,
much.
stop, red flag, stop, stop. And I was like, I said, Lamont, um, he could have even said, I have my notebook upstairs, or I'd love to spit you some bars sometime, or I want to write you a personal poem, something. But don't end it with
Yes.
cocktail part, something, because I liked him. I didn't. I really wanted to see more of him. Lamont is my mother's favorite name. I liked him, and I thought that they did him wrong. I agree with Wealth and
I
Health. I
don't
think
how
they
they
did him
do
wrong.
him wrong. Unless they were telling him to insert random poem here, maybe that's how they could have did him wrong, but I agree. It should have been like, let me make a connection. Then once we have our solo date, I'll do my own personal poem for you. That would have been sweet, but you just walking around this mixer. Maybe it was the heat. Maybe the heat was getting to him and he just didn't know what else to say. But
Is
it
that
was
what he
so
said, Tyler?
random.
Did he say, and he used the penis to rhyme with "I mean us," or did he just like my penis between us? I was like, "What are you doing? Stop!" What do you? And then, oh gosh, and that's the sad thing is women, especially in our in our 30s, and that have dated a lot. We see all these guys that are trying to, you you think you have all these pickup lines, and that's what it turned into. It turned into some stupid pickup line. It was just bad. And I was like, don't stop, because we really like you. And if you keep
Yes.
going down this road, it's not going to end well. So I think that they kept in. And I said, okay, he's 44, he looks good, he's not bad looking, he really, I liked him, but I think that he just came off as trying too hard, which is interesting. I think that they should let Corey go. So I think they're going to do the same thing. Speaking of Troy, do the same thing to Corey that they did to Troy. Is Troy went home the next night. If Corey keeps going with the down the same lines, like Troy kept trying to hug on people and trying to kiss women and all of this other stuff, you're out of here. Just stop it. It's not
Mm.
comfortable. So that's what I think they're gonna do. So, hmm,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't remember Phil too much. My whole thing was, um, in the other pictures, they said he was 37. Here, they say he's 51. I do want to know. He does look more like 37, so I think that that's interesting. Um, yeah, I really do wonder which woman. So, who are your top three as far as the women are concerned?
Carrie. Um, I really had high hopes for Zadia. So hopefully we'll get to know her a little better. But I did think that she would do good on the show. I
Hmm.
feel like I kind of have to be cliche and pick Sabrina and Courtney because they're the only like they're the only ones that got camera time. So I really didn't get to know. Well, Camilla, I just felt like she was playing games. Newman, she's beautiful, but I didn't feel like we really got to know her. So I would say Sabrina and Carrie are my top two, and that's I do genuinely like them, but I just felt like the other ladies we really didn't get to know.
I agree with you. So we're in agreement on our top two, Carrie and Sabrina, and my other two picks. I really want to get to know more of Zadia, and and I'm really interested to see how this storyline goes with Shiloh, because she's an intimacy coach. She's not just a life coach;
Mhm.
she's an intimacy coach. So I think that's going to be interesting.
Right.
Or is it going to be interesting? Or are they just going to push that to the back of the storyline? So she might be a dark horse too, and come to the forefront. So Carrie and Sabrina, I like her. I like her storyline. I like her backstory. I really like Tasia. I think that there's more to her than they're portraying. They're portraying her as just somebody about like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and I really want to see how she really comes out. I hope this whole attitude that she did at the end of the show. I hope that she changes that up. I really hope that she changes that up. Um, but yeah, that, and everybody circling around her, I was like, what are you doing? So I hope that
I
changes.
don't know. To see it doesn't I forget who said it, but they said basically she thinks she has more to offer than she really does. And I kind of felt that's what I felt like in the first episode. Like she really doesn't have a lot to off her. Like she's not really that much of a catch to me. That's what I got. That's just from the first episode, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, I did. Just wasn't getting anything like emotionally, mentally, anything. I wasn't really getting anything from her.
Yeah, and I really wonder what's more to her because, and this is another thing. She says that she is a CEO. She's a tech startup founder. What? What? You run a computer company? You run uh, a computer repair shop? I don't understand. Tell me more. So I want to know more. We're like about that, but yeah, I do wonder about her because she does want a father and the kids, and she wants the whole thing. She wants the whole American dream. You know what I'm trying to say? But
Right.
is she going to show that? Is she going to really get to know these guys? Um, yeah, and so Celery oh 08 was saying Shiloh. Yeah, Shiloh is an intimacy coach. Shiloh's an intimacy coach. So I wonder about that. And somebody else said all of these therapists on OWN are single, and I said yeah, it's Chimney. These therapists on and coaches on OWN are single. Um. So yeah,
Well, nephew Tommy's not single, but he's not a coach. But I guess he's kind of like coaching them in a way. But yeah,
he's the MC. He's the not MC, but he's the host. He's like the guy on the
but he
back.
still gives them advice and stuff, or
Yeah.
he'll
He
kind
has
of
been the one
guide
that's been
them on
married for
what
like
to do.
almost 40 years. Yeah, nephew Tommy has been married for a long time, and about he. That's true. That's true. I'll give you that. She does seem kind of grouchy, but I think she's just annoyed, and she was just had a bad attitude when she was just so shocked. She was like, "What? They don't like me?" And you need to stop that. My top two are definitely Sabrina and Carrie. I do like Courtney. Um, I think that there's more to them than meets the eye, and I was wondering if these guys are even going to try to get to know them. So I do think there's more to them. Uh, yeah, and I really want to see, like you said, Zadia. Um, if they show more of her.
I'm laughing at Shindy talking about
I'm
nephew
laughing about
Tommy's
this.
relationship was 40 years in the wilderness.
Wait, wasn't he still married when he was on? He started on Steve Harvey's show, but he had an act like he wasn't married. 40 years in the wilderness. I bet it was
I
40
don't
years.
know. Don't get me to lying. They were. I think they were on that Black Love show, and it wasn't really adding up on there either. But
Yeah, so they dated his kid's mom decades before getting married. So for a while he was single, and then they finally got married. They met in college, or they met years ago, but they didn't get married for a long time. He got married in 2016. That's hilarious. So they've known each other for years. Huh. Interesting. So the ones that I'm really like is Camille.
right,
No, Camille. She just everything, gentlemen. Everything is red flags, ladies and gentlemen. Like ladies, I feel like Camille. Like I guess that I appreciate you trying to be vulnerable and like maybe not tell all your story. You have three engagements, no marriage. You have I didn't know if
but
she
it's
had
almost like she was bragging. Like she thinks it's cute to like.
Call Me the Black Widow. That's why I said she's another Alexis to me. I'm Alexis Fly. I just you know I think it's a whole this is my way of trying to cover my self-esteem issues. That's why I get the Alexis Fly to me. Um Not so fly. Yeah. So yeah, this is it. This is the intro to Ready to Love. Tell us what you think. This was a lot of fun going through these people. I'm really hoping that they give. I like the show because these are chocolate people that are, in their 30s and 40s. They're trying to get married and trying to, see it forever and stuff like that. So we hope that we see more of this. And but I don't know. They're saying that DC is going to be kind of a ratchet year. That there are going to be a lot of antics. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans. So I was kind of joking, but I think we do need to bring some wine or your favorite libation for Thursday.
Wealth and Health asks, what about top men?
Oh, I didn't go through top men. Oh, we got to see I didn't go through our top men. I'm sorry, Wealth and Health. Yes, that's my favorite. The day is far spent, so that's what I was thinking. But let's do it. I want to let's go through the top men. So
Um, I have hope for Dante, even though he got 3 kids and 3 baby mamas. He does seem very family oriented. So I do have some hope for him. I do like Walter, but I feel like he kind of is tricky. He's like he do some, I don't know. I just feel like he's up to something with these women. Like he might be a little gaslighter or leading some of these women on, but those would probably be my top two.
okay, my top two. I have three. My top three is Naeem, Cornelius, and Frank. Frank is the bar. Now he is the bar owner, right? I For some reason I want to see where this goes. Um, mm, yeah,
I don't know. I
I'm
just didn't
going
like
back.
that he called
Yeah,
what's her name
you're right.
bubbly.
Yeah, no, I'm actually reneging on that. I'm going to Cornelius and Naeem. I'm sticking with Now, this is funny. I didn't see his job is just Department of Defense. So he probably works there. He probably, at least it says Department of the Defense. It doesn't say what does who's oh, he doesn't even have a job. He is an Aries like us, but he doesn't even have his job. He has his favorite quote, which is kind of suspicious to me. But so he yo, we didn't cover this. So he's a CEO of Covered Six Solutions. So he is a entrepreneur as what right as well. He, like I just said, what is he preneuring? What is he entrepreneuring? So yeah, somebody else
Which one was carrying? Oh Lord,
is he's the promoter. He's the club promoter.
wealth and
Um,
health.
who does something else say?
I think she's saying she likes Corey Carrington and Walter. I
I
think
hope
that's what
because she's giving you Carrington and Corey.
she's saying. I like them.
She said, "At Misha, are you Wealth and Health? Are you saying that you like Corey Carrington and Walter? Because Misha wants to throw Carrington out the window.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, Carrington passes out bar flyers. AW, he passes out bar flyers.
He puts them
He's
on
in
your
the front.
windshield.
Every time someone talks about passing out bar flyers, I remember being in Vegas and the people just passing out flyers, and I look and I'm like, oh my god, what
Girl,
is
that
this?
is so true in Vegas. You walk through the casino and they just be like, I'm like, what are
What are
you
you
doing? Come to this club tonight. You want a table? I get you a discount. What?
Every time people say exactly. He passes out bar flyers and drink coupons. Yeah, well, the else was joking with you, but she's like, yes, you like Corey Carrington? They put Corey and Carrington next to each other. This is ridiculous.
They put them on the same row.
Okay. So Cornelius. So my top two are Naeem and Cornelius. Um, I am. I take that back about Frank because I did not like him teasing Libba. I think that she was trying a little too hard. I think that in her picture, they were teasing her about her picture, but I think that she just looked tired. Like, these pictures were the day of. These women, this was the outfits all these women
Yeah,
were
they all
wearing
have
that
the same
day.
outfits on.
I said, I wonder if it was like an assembly line. Okay, stand in front of this backdrop, take a picture. Like, I was like, she just kind of looked like
I
tired.
just don't think she put her best foot forward
With the
as far as
makeup.
appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
It was probably hot and sweaty out there in DC, and I've been out there when it's hot and sweaty. And but then they all had, but then she was able to freshen up. I don't know, maybe she was first in line. I just feel like this was a lineup. I just, I do, I because
that she was able to freshen up. I
Liver,
can't.
Liver and Shiloh was like at the back of the line, and they were just like,
They was standing in the line for 2 hours.
"We
Their
cannot be
feet
at
was
the
hurting. Makeup was
time."
running.
Right, they were late, and now that's what you're going to do to punish me.
Right. Well, the hell says she could have combed her hair better. That's what I feel. She could have patted down. She could have just went like this, and it would have just went together more.
Do something, yeah,
She
yeah.
could have had her a little hand comb or something. It didn't make no, yeah.
Did they take their purses? I feel like they got their purses, but they had their purses at the end. Well, to see it, she had her purse at the end. She grabbed her purse and her fan. So I
She
don't.
was ready to go.
Did she? Yeah, she was ready to go. Did they have a rat tail comb for her? Because she could have just done a quick something.
I don't know.
I think that
You
Shiloh
know
and
what she
Liver.
reminds me of? She
Who?
reminds me of those black women that date white men and they just never can get that weave right or that
Which
wig
one?
right.
Wait. Which one reminds you of that? Liver or
Libba.
Shiloh? Okay.
I can just see her with a white man and she just don't know no better. And she just throw it on her head and she just
I'm
walk out the
done.
door.
And he's like,
I
"Yeah, babe,
think,
you look fine. You look fine."
have
Okay.
you seen those black women though? They only date white men and their wig just never look right. It just never their wig, their weave, like the weave don't blend. It just never
And nobody tells them, and then they're like, "I think this
that's
is a
just what
fine
she
line."
looked
Because
like
look
to
at that.
me.
Yeah, and then that's maybe no, that's no excuse because she's actually a hair salon owner, but this is a shame. And I'm not even. I have a friend that does wigs, and
Mr. Mita Joe said Liva reminds me of someone from Flavor of Love. She does look like one of them reality show contestants.
know that one of the girls from there. Yes, she kind of does remind me of one of the girls.
Did you remember Nibbles? She kind of looked like Nibbles from
Yes,
Flavor of
you're absolutely
like
right.
she could be her sister.
Yeah, she is the other girl. Aisha has zero excuse for that. I know wealth and health. We did not mean to go down this rabbit
Yeah,
hole, but
we supposed to been done. I don't know how, but here we are.
yeah, but here we are. So going back. So our top two, my top two is Carrie and Sabrina. I do like Courtney because I think there's more to her than just her looks. I do want to see some more from the other ladies. I want more airtime for the chocolate women. They're all chocolate women, but we got very little airtime for Rosadia and Mumin. Um, and then your top two were who for the ladies?
Oh, I can't remember. Carrie, I'll say Carrie and Sabrina.
Okay, and I'm gonna put this up because let's go to these men because I kind of agree with you, Celery. Um, my top two for the men were Naeem and Cornelius, and I'm hoping some of these men show me a little bit better um, coming soon. But who were your top two for the men?
Child,
I think your top two were Walter and was it Walter and Frank?
Dante.
Walter and Dante, three kids with three different women. I am very suspicious of that. I'll be honest with you, Dante. That's why I did not pick you. but I liked your ITM. I actually liked his until
I
that.
liked his no Cornelius. I've been getting them mixed up. I meant Cornelius this whole time. I got Dante and Cornelius mixed up,
So
but I
you're
meant
up to
Cornelius.
Cornelius and Walter, and mine is Cornelius and Naeem. Okay. Whew. Y'all, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This was a trip. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, we did have a quick roast session. It was unintentional, but there'll be more. There'll be more roast sessions. Um, Pray for us. Bring your favorite libation or wine or whatever you'd like for this Thursday. Um we're doing Married at First Sight. This is the retreat night, and as you know, Hurricane K is showing up. So, whew, yeah, just bring your favorite. Um, I'm scheduling the power of forgive or the challenge of forgiveness with Chris Natha, and then I really would like you guys to definitely be there for these men conversation, the all men chats, because the guys like it and the guys want you to ask them questions. So that's it for me. Go ahead, Misha. It's all you.
Yeah, make sure you join us Thursday night for our Married at First Sight review. I will be on another live in about 15 minutes or so. I'll try to drop the link on my community tab, but yep, that's all I have for now.
What was the name of the other live? That's what I was trying to look for. Did you put the link in yet? The other
Um,
one with the
her
new.
name is Sinquette. I tried to look on her page to look for the thing to share it, but I don't see it yet.
Okay.
But I will put it on my community wall in about 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you, Celery. These men, I'm hoping that there's more to these men coming up. Thank you guys so much. And that's it. Thank you.